Okay, so let's talk about product market fit. I'm going to be doing a bit of an intro into PMF, which is product market fit, to tackle this subject and give you some introductory understanding of it. I'm going to be sharing a couple of statements that I found over the internet about PMF or product market fit, and then telling you whether it's a myth or a reality in order for you to get an idea of it. I'll do some explanation on that as well. So let's get into it. First of all, what is PMF or product market fit? You've probably heard it everywhere. Oh, we did not achieve PMF. We have a PMF. You don't reach PMF and all of that. But it's really the point where you have a product that satisfies the need of a very specific target market in a way that it resonates very strongly with the customers or users in that market. Achieving PMF basically means that your product has found a very strong demand in a specific market and people are willing to pay the amounts that you've put on it or are willing to use it sustainably in a way that it resonates. And so when I define it this way, there are some key elements that I would like you to take. The first thing is that it solves a real problem. Your product effectively addresses a pressing need that you've identified among a specific group of people, not just everybody, but these specific people will have a product that meets their need. The second thing is there is a strong demand. So even if you're solving a real problem, then the people that have that problem actually are excited about your product. They want to use it. The third aspect of product market fit, which is very easy to overlook, is the scalability. It means that your product that solves a real problem for a market where there's a demand can grow in that market, attract more customers that look like that market without drastically changing the core of the offerings that you have. So it means that with very little effort, changing the product, more people can come and it resonates with them. You fit so much into the market that you don't have to do too much within that market to acquire more people within that market. And the last aspect of product market fit, which I think is important, is that sustainable business. Once you have achieved product market fit, your business often experiences accelerated growth with word of mouth, referral marketing, and easier customer acquisition as a result of that scalability. So these are 4 key areas of product market fit. If any of this area is lacking, you have not reached product market fit. Now, another thing I hear a lot about product market fit is it a binary or is it a spectrum? People think about it of you either have product market fit or you don't. And I think it's a little more nuanced than a binary. I think product market fit is a spectrum. And that's because you may have varying degrees of fit within the market. Some companies may experience just a partial fit where they meet the needs of a small segment, but not fully unlock broader demand. Again, maybe one of these factors that I mentioned above is not really there, but there may be a couple of things that need to be changed. So over time, as they improve the product, then they continue to have better fit. So it might be a spectrum, and it's not necessarily like, oh, you have a fit or not. Sometimes you don't have a fit, but even when you have a fit, the degree of fit might actually vary on that spectrum. And also because this means that you need to do continuous validation. So it's not a, oh, we have a fit and then that's it. You know, as time goes on, you may not also fit with the people that you fit with today because they have changing demands, their behaviors have changed, the market dynamics have changed. So you need to continue to extend your PMF within the market. There are different stages. So for a startup organization, PMF might just involve a small, highly engaged user base that love the product. And as the company begins to grow, your product market fit can shift to maybe broader customer satisfaction. They are churning less, they are retaining more, and things like that. And also, because you may actually fit within multiple market segments, your product may fit strongly with one market segment and less with another market segment. So it's typically a spectrum because you have to keep evolving the product and continue to make sure that you have a right and better fit with the market segments that you play in. Okay. Now to tackle product market fit and other notions around it, I'm going to be reading a couple of statements. If I'm looking them, I'm reading just from my iPad here, and just explaining whether that statement is a myth or a reality and giving some explanation around it. So the first statement I have here is product market fit is only really essential for startups. Larger companies do not need to bother about PMF. I think that's a myth. Because while startups often focus on finding product market fit as soon as they launch, because they want to validate the idea, is there a market to pay for this? And you hear a lot of that around startups. as the organization continues to grow, you need to continue to make sure that your product fits that market. So even have organizations like Adobe that have been around for a while, they still continue to ensure that they have a product that fits the market. So it's not only limited to startup. The needs and how a startup is trying to establish product market fit may be different from how a larger organization may be trying to achieve. But that PMF is only a concern for startup, I don't think that's true. Okay, the second statement here is PMF is a one-time achievement. You can hit a home run with product market fit just once and call it a day. I wish that was the case. Unfortunately, this is not. Achieving product market fit is not just a one-time, but a continuous journey. So for example, you have a Facebook. They continue and repeatedly redefine the platform to adapt to new users' preferences, changing market dynamics to competition, such that as they shift towards data protection, privacy, AI, and things like that, they are based on the market demands and people's demands. So they didn't stop at their initial success of, oh, we fit with students who are trying to, capture their yearbook data. They constantly validate and adjust to maintain that relevance. So if you really want to maintain relevance, you can't decide that you hit PMF, because again, you may eventually find out that the markets that you're playing with is not as profitable as you expected, and you need to adjust and adapt and think about other things that you can do within that market if there's more that you can do. So that's it. The next statement I have here is customer acquisition costs, which is CAC, is the ultimate metric to gauge your product market fit. I mean, I don't think that's the ultimate metric, so I think that's a myth. I think a lower customer acquisition cost compared to customer lifetime value is a strong indicator of product market fit. So if the cost to acquire the customer is really low compared to the value you get from the customer over time, then that's a good indicator. But it's not the only indicator of product market fit. You have net promoter score. You know that thing where you see, let's say, surveying a product that asks you how likely are you to recommend this product to a friend or a colleague. It's also a way of measuring product market fit, where a high net promoter score indicates that you have a high product market fit. There are also things like referral rates or even looking at customer lifetime value. So there are different ways to measure it, but I don't think that customer acquisition cost is the ultimate metric, even if it's one of the most important metrics to measure product market fit. Here we have product market fit is solely about creating the perfect products. Nah, that's a myth. That's an absolute myth. Product market fit is about understanding customer needs, market conditions, and the competitive landscapes. For example, a product like Zillow, their product is a platform for listing real estate. And they eventually and continually adapted the features based on user feedback and competitive analysis, like introducing Z-estimate to provide home value estimate. So it's not really about creating the perfect product. It's about creating a product that fits the needs of the market. Because again, what is a perfect product if it doesn't really solve the problems that your users have? It's not about creating a perfect product. It's about creating a product that solves the problems for your market and is profitable and scalable. Back to the 4 factors that I mentioned earlier. If you have a growing user base, it means you've achieved product market fit. Honestly, this is one of the misconceptions that I think flies around the industry a lot, that I have a lot of users, my daily active users are increasing, my total user base is increased by 20%, then I must have product market fit. A large user base doesn't guarantee product market fit. Honestly, you might have been acquiring the wrong customers. Quite frankly, it might have been as a result of an inorganic event, like maybe some campaign that is going on or some program that is going on that is bringing the wrong audience. So the fact that you have a larger or growing user base does not mean you have fit within the people that are coming in. So you need to ensure that the people that are coming and your user base is growing within the markets that you have defined. But even if the user base is not growing at an alarming rate, as long as the users that you have defined that you are playing within their markets resonate strongly with your product, even if they are small, then you have product market fit. So a large user base, more people signing up, more people paying for subscription is not an indicator of product market fit at all, because you could have been acquiring the wrong customer, or you're acquiring users that are not within the markets that you claim to be playing in. So it requires a bit more definition than a growing user base. A better indicator of product market fit is user engagement and retention, not just the number of users. Achieving product market fit means you have a superior product compared to competitors. Honestly, that's also a myth. Product market fit is about meeting the specific needs of your target audience. It's not about having a more superior product compared to your competitors. Granted that having a product that meets the needs of your defined markets puts you in a better position to have product market fit compared to your competitors. But it's not really about a superior product, because again, what is a superior product compared to your competitor? Are you comparing feature for feature? Are you comparing number of features? Like, what are you comparing here? For example, Apple is a great example. Their products often are not the first in the market, but they tend to align closely with Apple users. You know how Apple users are very, very passionate about their users. But a lot of people claim that the Android ecosystem for mobile phones have a lot more features